Hello and welcome to CityCast as we continue to bring you stories from all across the country. I'm Antara Gupta.
And I'm Priyanshu Javargya, and here are the headlines. India sees the highest surge in COVID 19 cases and deaths in the last 24 hours. 4.12 lakh cases were registered and 3980 deaths were reported. Case positivity rate is down from around 25% to 21.5%.
Manipur and Karnataka become the latest states to declare journalists as frontline workers. A Delhi-based Institute of Perception Studies state as many as 101 journalists have succumbed to COVID-19 between 1st April 2020 and 28th April 2021.
COVID patients will now have access to ICU beds as hospital adopts innovative solutions to increase the number of beds in Kerala. Our reporter Roshni Naya brings us the story.
Kerala records close to 42,000 fresh cases. Due to a steady surge in cases, the state government has decided to impose a full lockdown starting from 8th till 16th of May. Private hospitals in the state are overburdened due to an increase in demand for ICU beds, even as many hospitals keep aside 30 to 50% beds for COVID treatment. Hospitals like Aster MIMS in Kozhikode has set up makeshift field facilities with ICU in 1-acre parking lots and open spaces like stadiums. After sharing the plan with the State Health Department, the same solution for temporary ICU beds will soon be adopted in districts like Kochi. These field hospitals are monitored by senior doctors using CCTV cameras in isolation wards. They have shared these ICU beds with other hospitals that are a member of Association of Healthcare Providers.
Staying with our COVID coverage, we find not everyone is able to access the COVID vaccine even if they are eligible. Our reporter Sinchita Mitra tells us of the special challenges some face in Mumbai.
The specially abled, elderly, and bedridden patients struggle to get COVID vaccination in Mumbai. The Centre for Holistic Development, an NGO working on accessibilities of COVID vaccination, lists 132 vaccination centres in Mumbai. However, only 2 of them have disabled and elderly-friendly facilities.
There, unfortunately, in the center was no ramp, so my son had to pick me with the wheelchair and get me into the center.
Doctors say that it's important to vaccinate the elderly even if they aren't going out. The elderly have weaker immune systems which make them more vulnerable to the virus.
It can come from anywhere, so the elderly need to be vaccinated as soon as possible.
A petition by the Bombay High Court by BMC claims that over 15 lakh people are unable to get vaccinated due to the lack of accessibility. The state government has rejected a petition to have door-to-door vaccination, citing challenges in maintaining COVID-19 protocols. The BMC has now started drive-in clinics.
Strictly, we have kept this for only senior citizens, immobile and disabled people.
Experts say that the drive-ins will only help a little as the beneficiaries will still need people to drive them to these facilities. The Centre of Holistic Development says that the centre should have a pick and drop service. Experts also say that they can think about setting up camps in the societies.
मैपिंग से क्या होगा कि हमें पता लग जाएगा कि इस कॉलोनी में इस जगह इतने लोग हैं, जहां ज्यादा लोग हैं वहां पे हम ये कैंप लगा सकते हैं.
Experts say that the only solution is to start door-to-door vaccinations. Till then, the specially abled and the elderly will continue to face problems. This is Sanchita Mitra for CityCast.
With more people testing positive and advised home care, families of COVID 19 patients find it difficult to manage infected patients. Our reporter Amna reports from Patna and tells us more about the psychological distress they face.
Patients with mild symptoms at homes. It leaves the immediate family having to take on nursing and caregiving roles. Families are unable to cope with the mental stress.
I had to manage my work and the housework and their medications, if at all. I had issues managing both these things.
A report by ResearchGate says families and caretakers of these patients face primary care post-traumatic stress disorder.
One of my uncle tested positive for COVID. We had no clue what to do during that time. Constant check on temperature, oxygen level, there was much anxiety. Apart from this, since people stigmatize it, it is still difficult for us to get back to the same mental state.
In a survey by the ResearchGate, the majority of the families, that is 61.5% people, screened positive for depression.
I was constantly checking COVID updates, which was very disturbing. All these got accumulated within me and did impacted with a lot of negativity internally. It was very difficult time to survive.
Psychologists consider social media another source of negativity during these times. They encourage therapy for tackling depression.
consumption of social media was another issue because we are going through these negative news all the time. I have always been in favor of therapy, obviously, for obvious reasons. People could have made it better with a little help. A family staying in separate rooms, not even able to talk to each other, it definitely was stressing.
Experts advise that during this time of crisis, while we focus on physical health of the patients, we also need to take care of our mental health. This is Amna Karimi reporting for the CityCast.
It's not only the psychological impact. We take a look at the environmental impact resulting from the aftermath of the second wave. Our reporter Puran tells us about the cremations in open grounds that are cause of concern in Bangalore.
Open crematoriums address the problem of COVID deaths while causing damage to the environment. BBMP officials in an article in Deccan Herald say that they have assigned 540 tons of wood for these mass cremations. It takes around 6 to 8 hours to cremate a body using firewood, while using the electric way it takes up to 2 hours.
ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀರಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯೂ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ದಿನಗಟ್ಲೆ ಸತ್ತಿರೋರ್ನು ಕಳ್ಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದ್ 3 ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಾವು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ತಾವರೆಕೆರೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಿಡನಹಳ್ಳಿಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು KR ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಯಲಹಂಕದಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಟೈಮ್ 41 ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಗಿಡನಹಳ್ಳಿಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 29 ಏನೋ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
One open cremation requires at least 150 to 200 kgs of wood. With that, diesel, camphor and ghee are needed. Currently, the BBMP has only 200 tons of firewood left. Workers at the electric crematoriums believe that this mass burning is not helping.
ಆ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಬರಾವ್ ಪಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದಾವೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಲೋಕಲ್, ಆ ಕಡೆ ದೂರ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕಡೆನೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ.
As per media reports, Deputy Commissioner Manjunath says so far 120 bodies have been cremated in Tavrikere and Gidanhalli. Environmentalists believe that burning a body releases a lot of carbon dioxide that causes pollution of air.
The mass burning could have been avoided. It really affects the quality of air around the crematorium and the people living around the crematorium. In the 5-kilometer radius, it's very, very hazardous.
Environmentalists say that in a situation like this, the government should have pre-planned and increased the number of electric crematoriums rather than organizing mass burning as an immediate measure. This is reporter Puran Chaudhary for CityCast.
We'll be back after a short break. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Private bus operators are on a strike in Himachal. Our reporter Sejal Seth tells us what their demands are.
The Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh promised the bus operators a soft loan of Rs 2 lakh, but since past 11 months, nothing has been done about it. The state at present has 1,500 bus operators and about 5,000 staff members whose livelihood depends on the operation of these buses.
एक जो है जी लास्ट ईयर से लेकर जब कोविड के कारण सरकार ने बीच में हमारी गाड़ियां जैसे फुल ऑक्यूपेंसी कभी आधी सवारी या कुछ करके चलवाई है ना, तो लास्ट ईयर तो पहले बंद, इसलिए सरकार ने हमसे रिक्वेस्ट की कि आप गाड़ियां चलाओ, पब्लिक परेशान हो रही है। तो सरकार ने हमें 3-4 महीने का तो रिलीफ दिया है टैक्स में। सरकार ने हमें एक बोला था कि हम आपको पर बस जो है 2 लाख वर्किंग कैपिटल देंगे कुछ सस्ती रियायत में, वो भी नहीं मिला, ना भी टैक्स में उसके बाद कोई रिबेट मिला है।
The owners want help because many buses are damaged. They have no money to fix it. In addition to this, the number of passengers who used to travel by these buses has gone down.
देखो जी, पहले कमाने को पहले तो हम 15-16 हज़ार कमाते, अब तो 5-6 हज़ार रुपये महीने का बड़ी मुश्किल से कमा रहे हैं।
Working Capital Scheme promised to provide the private operators with loans from the banks without any interest. But Ramesh Kamal, a private bus union's general secretary, says that the banks have not been given any such orders by the government.
मार्च 2020 से लॉकडाउन लगा था ना,
हाँ जी,
उसके बाद बसें सारी खड़ी कर दी थी, ठीक है। उसके बाद जब बसें चलनी थी रोड पे, तो क्या हुआ कि गवर्नमेंट ने घोषणा कर दी, एक्चुअली हमारी बसों की इंश्योरेंस खत्म हो गई, गाड़ियां खड़े मतलब टायर पंचर जो था ना, टायर टूर के लिए, रिपेयर्स के लिए, वो वर्किंग कैपिटल गवर्नमेंट ने देना था उन बसों को चलाने के लिए।
The bus operators are hoping that the government would fulfill their demands so that they could revive their losses. This is Sejal Seth signing off for CityCast.
Domestic helpers fear losing their jobs as many of them are stuck in containment zones. Our reporter Roshni tells us more.
Partial lockdown in Kochi have left many domestic helpers with no choice but to suffer pay cuts from their employers. Many housemates even lost their jobs as more and more people get apprehensive of appointing them amidst the pandemic. People choose not to hire domestic help as they are afraid of exposure to the virus.
Ask my maid and cook to stop coming because I am not sure whether they will be using the public transport or coming by autos, or they might be.
The lack of social and financial security leaves the domestic helps vulnerable to crisis caused by the pandemic. According to a report by International Labour Organization, 76% of domestic workers are at risk of losing their jobs in India. Very little has been done to keep a check on implementing their rehabilitation.
Domestic workers, because of this COVID pandemic, people are not engaging them actually. They say, see, our demand is should be free ration. It is given a priority and all common 7,500 rupees per month for all families. They can survive.
As the second wave of COVID-19 engulfs India, domestic helpers struggle to earn 2 square meals a day. This is reporter Roshi Nair signing off for CityCast.
Dine-in restaurants in Samrala struggle to cope up with the new restriction amidst lesser deliveries. Our reporter Piara with that story.
Punjab had announced curbs and included a ban on restaurants in the city, which as a result faced losses. Cafe 49 is a popular place in Samrala, but now they have little business even in the home delivery segment.
देखो लॉकडाउन ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਆ ਟੇਕ ਅਵੇ ਵੀ ਬੰਦ ਹੈ ਕਿਸਮ ਦਾ ਹੋਮ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਿਟਿੰਗ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਇੰਸਟੀਚਿਊਟ ਬੰਦ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 60 ਤੋਂ 70% ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਸ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ
Since Zomato and Swiggy do not operate in these small cities, many restaurants such as Tastemates are affected, while Cafe 49 also has only one member for delivery.
डिलीवरी तो मैं अजे तक कल ही है जी बद ऑर्डर आउंगे तो पहले आप एक ऑर्डर को कंप्लेन करके फिर दूसरा ऑर्डर लाते हैं जो बाद आया जी.
Customers who eat out often with their friends and families say they are wary to order food because of the virus and the continuous rise in the number of COVID-19 cases increasing day by day in the city.
हाँ पहला वधिया सीगा जिवें फ्रेंड्स वगैरह नाल सारे मिल के असीं बाहर डेली रूटीन ही हुंदा सीगा शामी मिल के फ्रेंड्स वगैरह खेड के असीं मिल के खा पी लिया हुण निराश तां नहीं पर इन्नी गल है कोविड दे करके असीं हुण घर बैठ के खा रहे हैं ताज़ी रोटी वगैरह खा रहे हैं सब तो बेस्ट है साडे लई.
Despite the opportunity, Zomato and Swiggy do not help and operate in the city. The government should come up with plans to help these restaurant owners in their need for functioning. This is Pyara Singh signing off for CityCast.
We'll be back after a short break. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Teachers are on the front line in Pittorgarh and are at risk. Our reporter Kanishka Kohli tells us what the dangers are.
Nearly 50 teachers are at different entry checkposts of COVID-19. The District Government Teacher Association say these teachers are not given any safety kits. Teacher at checkpost say it is becoming more dangerous with each passing day to do their duties without any safety precautions.
2 दिन तो हम लोगों को पीपीटी किट नहीं मिला फिर उसके बाद हम लोग खुद ही क्या नाम का तुम्हारा हॉस्पिटल में जाके अपने लिए 2 दिन गए तो पीपीटी किट लेके आए. अभी आगे कहते हैं कि केवल सैंपलिंग वाले के लिए पीपीटी किट है तो हम लोग ग्लव्स भी खुद ही इनसे मांग के जबरदस्ती मांग के ला रहे हैं और N95 मास्क इन्होंने हमें केवल एक दिया और वो बोला है कि 10 या 15 दिन चलाएंगे आप.
A normal PPE kit costs around 500 to 600 rupees and one N95 mask costs nearly 150 rupees. Doctors say PPE kit and N95 mask are really important for people who are going to have any exposure to coronavirus.
There are no N95 masks that retain their the power to filter the virus after washing. It is basically dependent on the pore size which you lose after washing. So none of the N95s are to be washed.
Officials say they are working to provide every help to these teachers as they are working sincerely from the beginning of pandemic. Coronavirus tracking duties are not the only task government teachers are performing. They are involved in online teaching, distribution of dry ration and many others. The District Government Teachers Association says there is a positive response of the district magistrate regarding the issue.
ये चाह रहे थे कि इनको फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर मानते हुए इनको प्रेफरेंस दी जाए टीकाकरण में इनका वैक्सीनेशन जल्दी कर दिया जाए।
Almost a week after the letter was sent to district magistrate, government teachers are still waiting for action. This is Kanishka Kohli for CityCast.
People across the country are resorting to their four-legged friends to deal with stress. Our reporter Ratika Rana brings us a story.
The therapeutic value of relationships between animals and humans is being noticed, especially in these unprecedented times of isolations. Animal-assisted therapists are seeing a 40% rise in demands of therapy calls. These dogs are trained for providing emotional and physical support to humans. Therapy dogs can also be your pets. They visit residencies, nursing homes, old age homes, schools and hospitals for therapy.
Super duper helpful because I get to engage with him, interact with him, play with him, pet him, and these things sort of take my mind off the pandemic and off whatever is going on.
Organizations like Animal Angels Foundation and Therapeutic Paws provide animal-assisted therapies.
So right now everyone is stressed. Only because of pets we are not getting stressed. I also have pets.
Researchers believe that therapy dogs can help patients with Alzheimer's, depression, bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorders, and many more psychological diseases.
When you're playing with your dog, it engages your mind in such a way that it releases the hormone called endorphins. And endorphin is primarily responsible for giving you a relaxation feeling, a sense of relief, and stress buster also. When a child is playing with a dog, it helps them empathize.
Animal-assisted therapies are very recent in the country and people are still exploring this field. Experts believe that this can help in overall character development for children and adults alike. This is reporter Ratika Rana signing off for CityCast.
As the second wave rages in India, we leave you with a tribute to the frontline workers who continue to perform their duties to protect us.